Arcade Perfect, my Arse. Okay guys, welcome to this week's Arcade Perfect, my Arse. This week's game is Hard Driving, or Drivin, not driving, Drivin, by Atari Games. I think it was released also by Tengen. Did they produce? I don't know what the arrangement was, but now I've got to say guys, I have to first admit something. This video, this game being played here is not my own video. I tried like a bear to try and get this game to work, and it's an absolute nightmare. It's got so many different controls and configurations that I completely gave up. Now the thing is, I'd already recorded, I'd watched a video of the game being played, and I'd already recorded all the home versions, and this was going to be the last one I looked at. So I didn't want to not do it. So this is actually this is a video by somebody else. I mean, it was released in May 2007, so I really hope they don't mind me using this. This is just to give you a demonstration of what the arcade one looks like. And you'll also notice that the guy playing this, he's a Japanese guy by the looks of things. He's also far better at this game than I could ever be. Now, this game, I says, it was pretty groundbreaking when it came out back in, when was it, 1988, 1989, something like that I think it was. Because it had real car controls. Yep, I mean, it had a clutch. I mean, that was unheard of. You know, plenty of games had gears. Most of them just had high or low. This game actually had proper gears. A proper gear stick. I says it had a clutch, it had a brake. So it was bloody difficult to actually play, even the arcade one. It was really sold as more a simulation than an actual racing game. Because, pardon me, it was obviously it was being put out there as being a very realistic game. Now whether that makes the game particularly enjoyable, I'm not convinced. I think I had a couple of games of it back in the day and I wasn't really a big fan of it. And having played it for this feature, I can't say it's a particularly enjoyable game, but I thought it'd be interesting to look at that because it's obviously a 3D polygon graphics. It'd be interesting to see just how they look on home versions. So anyway, we'll watch this video up to the end. Like I said, you can see here, it's is that a train or something? I think it is. Yeah, the guy that's playing this is obviously far more competent than I would ever be. Right, anyway, listen, this guy is yep, like I said, he's pretty good at this game, so this could go on for a wee while. So that is the arcade version of Hard Driving. Let's stop it now and take a look at some home versions. Okay guys, this is the Amstrad CPC 464 version. It's got quite a colourful little title track, even if it's quite blurred. It's actually quite difficult to actually see it. I'm going to turn the volume down a wee bit so I can actually hear myself talk. Yeah, let's see how it plays. I'm certainly not holding out much hope for this game. Right, okay, so how do we start? Is it joystick? Oh, we're getting somewhere now. Ah, right, okay, right, let's see. Auto, no clutch, yep, we need to go for the easy one. Turn key to start. I appear to have cut the sound off completely. Right, what's happening? Turn key to start, counting down. Right, okay, here we go. Right, it's hold it forwards to move. Whoa! And it is extremely, I was going to say irresponsive. It's extremely unresponsive. My goodness. Right, is that an instant? Oh, it is an instant replay. It says instant replay at the top of the screen. Okay, right, let's see if we can crack on with this. And you can see there, it's two colours, blue and black. Bloody hell. Talk about unresponsive, my goodness. This is virtually unplayable. It takes forever to actually respond to the joystick. Off-road. The backgrounds are quite nice, the wee mountains. Dearie me. Right, I see here you can push the joystick forwards to increase the throttle and then just leave it. It's so responsive. It's unbelievable. Let's just stick with 4,500 revs and see if we can try and stay on the... Oops, that car coming towards us, it certainly is. I think this is a classic example of, you know, you should never try to touch this game. Now the thing is, when it gets up at a fair rate of knots, things do improve a wee bit. It's still responding like, I don't know, a disabled slug walking through treacle. It's really, I mean, there's a good maybe 3 or 4 second delay. There's the big bridge. Let's see if we can try and attempt to get myself round the track and over the jump. Sound is pretty much what I expect. Nah, dearie me, this is awful. Game over. Yep, it certainly is. That is the Amstrad one. It's not the best. It's got a nice title track, nice detailed controls, and then the game actually starts and it all falls to bits. Let's take a look at another one. Right then, this is the Atari Lynx one. Top 10 hardest drivers. Well, I told you one in Wally. Right, okay. Decent enough music, but music does not maketh a game, as we know only too well. Right. Let's go for... Oops! Oh, it even pushes you back like it does in the arcade. What? I didn't even see any contact with the car there. Well, it's the first version that actually has an engine startup noise. And if you use one of the fire buttons to accelerate... Oops. Graphically, it looks just like a bit of a mess. I mean, if I didn't tell you that this was hard driving, chances are you wouldn't know that's what it was. Unless, of course, you saw the big bridge thing in the stunt track. It's responsive. The updating isn't too bad, but it's pretty hard to actually determine if it's actually a decent version or not. I mean, it's oh, here we go, we might actually get to do a jump. It's certainly, the updating is way better than anything else that I've seen so far. Now I really need to stop making comparisons to other versions when I do these Arcade Perfects, because the problem being is I record them in a certain order obviously and I comment on other versions, but I don't always put them, I don't always edit, oops, I don't know what happened there, I don't always edit them in the same order, so I could be talking about another version which you haven't actually seen. Yeah, this, as far as hard driving conversions go, this isn't too bad. It's fairly smooth. Graphics are what you'd expect. Let's go for another wee shot since we're only a couple of minutes in. It's quite incredible when you see how far we've come. I mean, when did this come out? I don't know, I'm guessing early 90s. And what, in the space of, I don't know, 25 years, alright, 25 years you could say is quite a long time, but in the space of 25 years we've gone from like this, which was obviously the very first 3D-esque driving game. It was like, obviously it was sold as being a realistic driving game, and then you're playing stuff like Forza Horizon Drive Club, which are about as realistic as you could ever imagine. So yeah, they've really come on in leaps and bounds when it comes to driving games. Now I'm guessing that this game would probably work better on the actual handheld, because you're going to be using the proper controller. I mean, using a 360 controller is just a bit rubbish. At least you can actually, you've got some semblance of control, whereas the other versions that I've looked at, I think the 8-bit ones, are just horrendous. Oh, extra time! Yeah, this would probably look alright on the wee toty screen, the wee tiny Lynx screen. I mean, I'm playing it on a fairly small screen on my PC, actually not that much bigger than the proper Lynx. Anyway, I've had enough of this. That is the Atari Lynx one. Okay, this is the Commodore 64 one. Now there was a little title screen with some nice music. This looks alright. This looks promising. Let's start the game. Certainly looks, yeah, it looks really detailed. Very good. Let's go. Choose transmission type. I've just done that. Starting stunt track or speed track. Let's go for the stunt track. Right, so it's forwards to move. Right, okay. It's got a nice detailed panel at the bottom. Now it's woefully uncontrollable once again. Let's see if we can actually get on this track. What? So forwards to move. Now you know what? When you're actually moving at full velocity, if that's the right term to use, smack. I was going to say it almost borders on being semi-playable, but now I'm using an Xbox 360 controller here. I'm using the wee thumbstick thing, and as you can see, I'm absolutely all over the place. Bloody hell. I mean, driving in a straight line, you would say it's almost acceptable. It's a game too far, I'm afraid. It really is. I don't know why they even attempted to try and convert a game like this. I mean, this requires a sort of a monster arcade machine to run the thing. I says, maybe using a joystick it might have played better. It's not going to play any better, but it may have been slightly more controllable. It's just, it's unplayable. It's as simple as that. I mean, the frame rate is... I mean, the actual road for a Commodore 64 seems to scroll not too bad, but it's just wholly uncontrollable. It really is. It's unplayable. Now again, guys, you need to appreciate that I can only play this with the hardware I've got, i.e. an Xbox 360 controller. I mean, I could technically fire up the 364 one for real, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. Anyway, yeah, I think I've seen enough of that one. That's a 364. Not much to really say about that, other than it's a step too far for that machine, I'm afraid. Let's crack on. Okay, guys. Now this isn't hard driving. This is the follow-up called Race Drivin. This is on the Game Boy. Yeah, this is on the Nintendo Game Boy. Yep, absolutely. This isn't obviously going to count because it's a different game, but I'm just interested when I was flicking through the games to see if hard driving was there, and I saw that. I thought, well, stick it in. I'm interested just to see it. Let's go for the stunt thing. Let's see how this plays. It's certainly not going to lose anything. Oof, dearie me. It's not going to lose anything from the colour point of view, since all the other, well, all the 8-bit versions were kind of two colours. Now, you know what? This is moving quite nicely. It controls really well. If you actually stood far enough back, you could probably get away with this. For a wee, I don't know what bit the Game Boy is. It 8-bit? I have no idea. Whoa! It's actually... This is actually quite impressive. Try and line up nice and straight. Now it seems to... Is that because I'm moving too quick? I don't know. Is that a mirror? You got a mirror on the right hand side as well? My goodness. Right, so I need to keep the speed up, or else I'm going to fall off the track. Like that. I don't know what's happening there, no idea. Let's go for one more go. But this proves to me that the... let's go for Super Stunt. This proves to me that the Game Boy would actually have been able to run probably a fairly credible version of hard driving. I mean, the actual movement is pretty smooth. Yeah, it's a bit hard on the eyes trying to see where you are, but once it gets moving, things definitely pick up a wee bit. I mean, it's pretty damn smooth, and it's not the slowest version either, that's for sure. This could be Stunt Car Racer, couldn't it? It sounds a bit grating. Now, I've not seen any other... Well, no, I did see cars. I think we saw cars right at the very beginning. Ah, now, you know what? I've just discovered... I thought that was set to auto. I've just discovered I was actually... you've got other gears. So that'll be why I was falling off the loop thing. Anyway guys, listen, that was just a minor diversion. That is a race driving, and that's on the Nintendo Game Boy. Right then, this is the ZX Spectrum one. Nice little funky tune. I think this is the 128 version actually that I'm looking at. So let's see, how do we start this thing? Okay, right, we're going to go for Kempston. Oops, try and put it Right, window Kempson, want to drive in the left, yep, go for that. Now I've got great, excuse me, great hopes for this one. In the Spectrum, it seems to be quite good at sort of stuff like this. Drivin is a revolutionary driving simulation combining an accurate model of race car handling with true 3D graphics. Oops, it won't even give me a chance to stop it. Right, okay, turn key to begin. How do we turn the key? Right, okay, shift, right, we need to go with that one. The countdown is on. Turn key to start. Okay. Once again, it's bloody impossible trying to control it. Certainly looks a damn sight nicer than both the C64 and the Amstrad one. Now, I don't know if using keys would make this any easier or less uncontrollable. Now, I think the biggest problem with this game is the arcade had an analog control, and trying to convert analog to digital just doesn't really work. As you can see here, I'm all over the place. Certainly the updating graphically wise, I would say, is a lot better than the C64 and Amstrad. But it doesn't matter a jot if you can't control the thing. Now again guys, you need to appreciate that I'm playing these games for about 2.5–3 minutes, which isn't a fair time, isn't an adequate time to give a fair assessment of the game. I'm only telling you what I make of the 2.5–3 minutes that I get to play each game. It's monochrome graphics like the other 8-bit versions. It certainly seems a bit livelier, which wouldn't be difficult compared to the other two versions. If I could actually master the controls, it would probably make things a lot better. Was that a cow? I think it was. Now, I'm desperate to get round and see this jump thing, but it looks like I'm not going to get to see it. Yeah, I mean the 3D effect, you couldn't have got 3D, the sort of graphical effect on the Spectrum one isn't actually too bad. Right, anyway, listen, that's enough of that one. It's not much of an improvement on other 8-bit ones, but it's certainly the best of a very, very, very bad bunch. Okay, let's crack on. Okay then, this is Atari ST one. Certainly looks really nice, looks pretty much accurate to the arcade one. Let's see if we can actually start the thing. Apologies about that there, a slight technical thing. Right, let's go for auto no clutch again. Press the button to start. Oh! Right, okay, so it's the left mouse button to accelerate, and the controls all seem to be with the mouse. This seems to play rather nicely. Let's go up this way if we can. And if I remember rightly, there's a cow. There we go. Let's see if we can find the cow. What the hell's that? Oh, it's a car. Right, there's the cow. We've got the wee instant replay. It's like I'm smacking into the cow, hitting it just before it, just after it yells. Bang! That's one mighty cow. The fact just pushed me backwards. Anyway, let's whoa. Let's see if we can stick to the track. Now once you've accelerated, you don't have to hold the fire button down all the time. Now I've got absolutely no idea. I'm running this obviously under an emulator. Oops, there's a bit of see-through graphics going on there. Yeehaw! What? Why did I crash? Disappeared. Oops. You can see they're obviously still trying to master 3D graphics. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, this isn't actually too bad. As far as home conversions go, this is right up there. Let's go for it full welly. Right, I've got absolutely no idea how you don't crash going across that ramp. Let's see if we can take it a bit slower. Oops. Let's cut back in the speed a wee bit. Ah, it's saying 60. There we go. See, I didn't even notice that. Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine. I'm going to mess this up. Right, that's almost bang on 60. There you go. Who's the daddy? Yeah, now you know what this... we need to have a crack at this. This actually isn't bad at all. Is it going to tell me that? Right, 60 miles an hour, so I need to cut my speed again. Try and not fall off the track. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Hey! So obviously you can't afford to go speeding too much. Oh, don't hit him! What did I crash into there? I don't know if it was the road or the car. Let's have a look. Right, anyway guys, listen, that's Atari ST1 and that actually isn't too bad. I quite enjoyed that actually. Right then, this is the Sega Mega Drive. Now I'm expecting great things for this one. Turn key to start. Okay, let's go for automatic since I've been using that. Now firstly, this has got not bad sound. Oh yeah. Well, I've not actually started to turn yet. Whoops, bollocks, let's go for a wee lap round the racetrack. Yeah, I like this. If anything, I would say this is actually faster than the arcade one. Boof! You even get the wee car jumping over the big ramp. Quite a decent engine noise. Sometimes you get racing games and the engine noise is really annoying. But the polygons are moving pretty smoothly. And it instantly reacts when you turn. Checkpoint. Whether this is a good game, I don't know. I'm not going to make that kind of judgment, but it's certainly one of the better versions. truck. Hey, what's this? Right, finish. Right, what I want to do now is go around the stunt track, which is, well, let's see where the cow is there. Let's go and visit the cow. I hear you. Right, okay, 60 miles an hour is the limit, so I need to watch my speed. That looks just about perfect. Whoa! Now obviously this version would have cost considerably more than the 8-bit ones. So you would expect a better game, but then that's not always been the case. Right, anyway guys, listen, I'm not going to look any more at that one. That is a Sega Mega Drive. It's certainly not a bad version. It's certainly playable. It's nice and quick. Got decent sound as well. So yeah, all in all, not too bad. Okay guys, this is the Commodore Amiga one. Now this is being played on a real Amiga. It's been played on my Amiga 1200. Okay, right, let's go for the same again. I'm going to turn up the sound a wee bit. You can actually hear it. Now, first impressions is this. Whoa, this is playing very, very smooth. Now, this Amiga I've got it's got extra memory. I think it's got, what's it got in it? 8 meg or something all in. I don't know what the hell I've got in it, but it's got an extra, I think, 8 meg put in, or extra 4 meg. It's not got an accelerator card or anything, but this is running really, really, really smooth. Still bloody impossible to control it enough, but that's just because I'm pants. They obviously hadn't really mastered the they hadn't mastered sort of like how to hide, you know, 3D. Whoa, way too quick here. Yeah, with 3D, if you know you're going over a tunnel or something, or a car was going underneath a tunnel, then technically you shouldn't see it, but they didn't appear to have mastered it at this point. But we can't really complain, because this was certainly like that. You can see that car should be hidden. Now what I want to do is attempt to go over the racetrack. Yeah, this is super nippy fast. It's really, really smooth. This is actually quite impressive. Oops! Bollocks. Whoa! Dearie me. Right, so we want to try and keep right. Qualified for the championship, no less. Off! Right, so let's bear right here and attempt to go around the loop. Let's visit, no, we'll not bother visiting the cow. Off! Into the ice. Right, let's go and visit the cow. Ah, bollocks. Now, let's see if we can get this right. Oh, hey! Oh, no. Right, let's see if we can go around the loop. back into... Okay guys, sorry about that. Yeah, this is... let's go for a loop-the-loop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, we want to try and maintain a 60 miles an hour, which I'm not doing very well. Oh! Now, I'm not quite sure why they decided to make the loop-the-loops kind of see-through. What was the purpose of that? Was that just to give it a different texture or something? I'm really not too sure. Oh, did I get over that? It appears I did. But yeah, this, I'm sure if you were to persevere with this version, you would actually get fairly proficient at it. It's really responsive, it's really fast, super smooth. That's actually a really good version. So that is the Commodore Amiga version, guys. Okay guys, this is the very last version of our Drivin. This is on the original Microsoft Xbox and it was released as part of the Midway Arcade Treasures Volume 2. Now I think this came out on the PlayStation 2 and also the Nintendo GameCube. And I'm guessing it's going to play pretty much identical to this. So okay, let's go auto. Right, you can use either the joystick or the gamepad. Let's go for no clutch again. Turn key start. Right, okay, this uses the right trigger to accelerate. Let's go for the stunt track. Whoa, 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 whoa! I have got no idea where I'm going. Let's tell me what way I need to go. Let's go and have a look at the cow. How does the cow... Ah, come on! Now you'll notice that this is the control panel shudders. I'm guessing that's to try and sort of... there's a cow. Yeah, I'm guessing that's to try and imitate what it would be like in a real car. Now this plays pretty authentic to the arcade, which I would expect, given it's probably emulating the code. Whoa! Woof! Whoa, there's a big truck, don't want to crash into that. Now one thing I do like about this version, you can see there, you're actually getting to see the other cars. And you actually... Game over, what happened there? Did I run out of time or something? I don't want to do that. Right, let's go for clutch again. Auto, no clutch. I couldn't even imagine trying to play this game using a clutch on a controller. Yeah, obviously the graphics, the main graphics are a lot nicer as well, but again this is running the arcade one, I'm guessing. The thing is about this game is when you see it for what it is, it's actually not the greatest game in the world. I mean, I suppose it was, I can always remember playing this game in an arcade. It was a local arcade to me. Well, I say local, it was in Edinburgh, which is about an hour's drive. It was an arcade called Ellie's in Lothian Road in Edinburgh, just next to Princess Street, and I always remember being sort of quite amazed at just what this thing was. It was like almost like a full-size car. It had the clutch, it had brakes, it had gears, you know, a clutch. I mean, goodness me, what was that all about? So yeah, it was a big tanker thing. It really was sort of like it was like the first of the first kind of 3D driving game. I always remember a mate telling me about it. He'd played it and he was telling me how realistic this thing was. And I suppose when you look at it like that, it does, even on this, it does look pretty realistic, all things considered. So oh, come on, what happened to that? Was he on the wrong side of the road? Maybe not. Right, about 20 seconds. Full welly, foot to the floor. Anyway, that's time up. Okay, right, listen guys, that is enough of that. That is hard driving on the Microsoft Xbox, which is emulated. So, let's think, what have we got here? Games wise, or version wise, in no particular order, we had the C64. It's nice kind of static graphics, quite a nice control panel. The actual moving graphics, very, very dull, 2 colours, quite blocky, or very blocky I should say, and it was very, very slow. So yeah, it was actually, to be honest, I was probably quite impressed with the C64. I was really, really expecting the absolute worst, and for a C64 version it probably wasn't too bad, but it's not really playable. Amstrad CPC 464, I was disappointed with that one. That could have been so much better, I think. Graphics were woeful, really pretty much just as bad as the C64 one, and it was very, very, very slow. I mean, the response time to turn was just, you know, crap, absolute crap. Maybe it played better with a joystick, I don't know, but wasn't impressed with the Amstrad one. The Spectrum one, the last 8-bit versions, it looked a lot nicer than the other two, and to be fair, it did play a wee bit better. Again, there was still quite a bit of delay from actually turning the joystick to actually moving, but it certainly was the best of a bad bunch. That's all I can say from the sort of 8-bit versions. I mean, trying to cram something like an arcade hard drive machine into an 8-bit machine with less than sort of, you know, less memory than it would take for an average email was always going to be an uphill struggle. Atari Lynx, it was very, very, very blocky looking. It was hard to actually see what you were meant to be doing half the time. It played fairly smooth. I mean, the graphics weren't great, but it played quite nicely, and it probably would look a lot better on the small screen rather than the TV that I was playing it through, or the monitor. Atari ST, that was actually quite impressed with that. Looked nice. I mean, the Atari ST and the Amiga ones looked almost identical. The Atari one was a bit, it still played fairly smooth, but the Amiga one was really nice. It played a lot smoother than the Atari ST one. It was really, really nippy. It was dead responsive. So both good versions, but I've got to say the Amiga one really, really tipped it for me. The Sega Mega Drive, not bad. It looks nice. It played very, very fast. Whether I enjoyed playing it, I don't know. I mean, this machine came out, this arcade game is quite an old arcade game. Would I want to play that in the Mega Drive? Probably not. But as far as conversions go, and that's what we're looking at here, nothing to do with the age of the machine or anything. As far as conversions go, it wasn't actually that bad. The last one I looked at was the Game Boy, and now that was actually Race Driving, which was the sequel to Hard Driving, and it played really nice. It didn't look that great, but when it actually started moving, it was pretty super smooth, and it was very, very playable. So yeah, had that been a conversion to Hard Driving, it would have definitely been in the top 3, 100%. And obviously the very last version is the one we just played, the Xbox one. Again, I'm guessing that's emulated, so it's kind of cheating slightly. But yeah, if you want to play the best version, then it's going to have to be the Xbox one. But saying that, we're looking at the best conversion rather than emulated. It's a tough one. It's probably quite a I'm stuck with this one. I'm going to go in third place. It's really got me here. In third place, well, you know, I'm going to cheat for a second. In fourth place, I would go for the Atari Lynx. It played really nice, but it didn't look the greatest. Third place, I'm going to go for the Atari ST. Looked nice, nice and smooth, nice and quick, really responsive control. So yeah, definitely that takes my third place. Second place, I'm going to go for the Sega Mega Drive. So it looked the part, it's super fast, played really well. But my favourite version of hard driving, out with this emulated version you're looking at just now, would have to be the Commodore Amiga. Really nice to play, super smooth, fast. It has, for a game like this, has to be nice and smooth, good update and that kind of stuff, and the Amiga one ticked all the boxes. So yep, that is going to be my gold medal version of hard driving, the Commodore Amiga. Anyway guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed watching this feature. If there's any game you want to see featured in the Arcade Perfect My Arse, please pop your comments below. Please like the video if you enjoyed watching it. Any comments, I always appreciate any comments. If you want to see more videos by myself, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And as usual guys, thank you very much for watching.